Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katy. Today we're going to strengthen our buttocks, and the reason is that many people have sedentary jobs where they sit down for a good part of the day or they're driving a car. So the outcome of that is possibly lower back pain, overuse of hips and general discomfort. So in order to strengthen the buttocks, the outcome is that we have more stability in the hips, we won't use our hips quite so much, and we'll probably have more comfort in our lower back. So join me today and we'll start in a seated position. So let's lift the rib cage up and relax the shoulders down. Just lower the chin slightly towards the chest and close your eyes if it's comfortable. Relax the shoulders down. Move the head just 2 or 3 times from side to side, just in case you are tightening anywhere in your neck. Let's pause and start to focus on our breathing. Now breathe down to your rib cage. Now bring your breath down to your belly, and as you breathe out, draw your navel in. Now let's lift the hands above the head, breathing in, reach up, stretch through the rib cage and breathe out. Lower the hands down, take a deep breath in, reaching up. And breathe out, lower the hands down. And let's do that one more time. And breathe out. Now let's come into an extended butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of the feet together and then sliding them forward so we can stretch around the hips and the buttocks. So lift the rib cage up, draw the waist in and lean forward. Drop your chin towards your chest and let's focus on breathing into our back. Breathe into the belly, explore the back with your breath, feel your mid-back expand between your shoulder blades, and breathe right down to the lower back. Okay, let's lift up, walk the hands up the legs, and we're going to slide the feet in and bring them to the side. Try to lie in the center of your mat and rest on your elbow. Extend your legs and bring your toes forward, and then bring your legs a little bit forward so your toes line up with the front side of the mat. Lift your rib cage up and just place your hand down on the mat or the hand on the hip. This is a side stretch through the bottom side of the body, and if you'd like to increase that stretch, just rotate your palm forward and lift up. So let's squeeze the buttocks, push the hips forward and draw the shoulder blades down. So we should be getting quite a good stretch in the side of our body. If not, lift up a little higher and increase the stretch. Have your chin tucked in, back of neck lengthened, make sure your toes are forward. Let's take 3 breaths here. Breathe into the rib cage, breathe out. Try to count to 3 with your breath in. 1, 2, 3, and breathe out. 2 and 3. Try that one more time, counting in your mind. Okay, let's lower the side down, place the hand under the head. Stacking those legs, and now we're going to rotate the foot to 45 degrees. Let's breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower. Breathing in to lift and out to lower. Breathe in to lift and out to lower. And now let's lift that leg up nice and high, toes forward, hand behind the thigh, or if you can, hold your ankle or hold your big toe. Now draw your shoulders down, Draw your navel in. Try not to lock your knee, and let's take a few breaths here. Breathe down to the belly. Try to count to 3 in your mind, keeping that breath nice and slow. One more breath. And let's lower that leg down. Come up onto your elbow. Make sure it's in line with your shoulder and you're lifting your rib cage up. Turn your hand into a fist, other hand on hip. Now you can bend your knees and lift your hips, or you can keep your legs extended and lift the hips up into side plank. You can also lift your hand up to the ceiling. Make sure your rib cage is lifted. Take 3 breaths here. And now lower your hips down and lower your hand down. Let's slide the knees in and come to a mermaid position where the foot is on the knee. Lifting up nice and tall. We've got a wild thing. So take your arm behind your back and sweep your left arm up and over, pushing those hips forward. Now open the chest up, hug the shoulder blades together. Pick a head position that you can manage. Gazing up or down to the floor. And breathe into your hip and the side of your body. Finishing your last breath, and let's sit down again. This time we're coming into butterfly pose, but bringing the heels a little closer to hips. So you can just hold your ankles and slide your heels into your hips, or for more intense work in the inner thigh, lift your hips up and take a seat near your heels. Lifting up nice and tall, draw the shoulders down, lifting the rib cage up and drawing the waist in. Lean forward, elbows can be in front of knees, chin to chest. Let's breathe into our back. Big breaths into the belly and the lower back, stretching the inner thighs. Alright, so let's lift up and we're going to swing our legs around to the other side. Resting on your elbow, extending your legs. Now bring your toes forward and then line them up with the front side of the mat. So the legs are just a little bit forward of the hip line. And now squeeze your buttocks, push the hips forward so you keep nice and long and strong. So if this is not a strong enough side stretch for you, or you're matching the other side of your body, extend your arm out and lift up. Now bring your hand as close as you need, slide your shoulder blades down, tighten the waist, and let's stay here for several breaths. So I want you to focus on the bottom side of your rib cage, stretching. Now take 3 breaths in there, and remember to count to 3 as you breathe in and 3 as you breathe out. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Last time. Let's lower ourselves down, rest the head on the hand. Rotate the front toes upwards to a diagonal. And we're going to lift, point the toes and lower, push through the heel. Breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower. And let's do that again. That's it, lovely. Let's try 2 more times. Now lift that leg up, hand behind the thigh, behind the calf to the ankle, or bring the toes towards you, hold the big toe, draw your shoulders downwards and your waist in. Keep the knee a little bit soft, and let's start to breathe down to the belly. And let's take those nice deep breaths, counting to 3 as you breathe in, count to 3 as you breathe out. Last breath. Lower your leg down, come onto your elbow. Turn your hand into a fist. Lift up the rib cage. Toes are forward, hand on hip. You can bend your knees and lift your hips if that's what you did last time. Otherwise, lifting up your hips, coming into that side plank, nice and strong. Pressing down with the elbow, lifting the hand up. Let's take 3 big breaths here. And lower your hand down, lower your hips down, slide your knees in, coming back into the mermaid pose. Take your left hand behind you and lift your right hand up into wild thing. Push your hips forward, squeeze your buttocks firmly. Now open the chest, hug the shoulder blades. Goes down to the floor if it's comfortable, or goes upwards. Take 3 breaths. And let's take a seat. Coming into a cat, I'm going to turn sideways now. Bring your knees under hips, have your wrists under shoulders, stretch your fingers out nice and wide, big stretch. Now we're going to change our breathing for cat-cow pose today, and we're going to breathe in to prepare, then breathe out. Draw the navel up as high as you can, chin to chest, stretch around your back and arms, and breathe in, cow pose. Draw those shoulders back to hips. Breathe in, breathe out, cat arch. Breathe in, cow pose. Let's try that one more time. Breathe out, cat arch. And breathe in for cow. Now this time we're going to breathe out for down dog. And breathe in for cat. Just lowering the knees down. Breathe out, down dog, lift the hips right up. And breathe in to cat pose. One more time. Breathe out, down dog. Breathe in to cat. Now let's extend those legs back into plank. Breathe in for plank. Breathe out for down dog. Breathe into plank. And breathe out, down dog. Breathe into plank. And breathe out, down dog. And let's take a walk with our feet to our hands. I will turn and face you. Bring the feet hip width apart, bending the knees. Let's hold the elbows and chin to chest. Move the torso and the elbows from side to side. Stretching into the lower back. Do try to keep a bend in your knees so you can stretch your back. Bring yourself to a standstill and move your head forward and backward in a yes movement. And side to side in a no movement. And place your hands on your shins, breathe in and breathe out. Squeezing your buttocks. And stacking your vertebrae up one at a time, shoulders to ears. Turn your hands into fists. Squeeze your buttocks together, push your hips forward. Lower the shoulder blades down. Chin to chest. Otherwise, you can lift your head up, gaze up to the ceiling, or lower your head back with a neck stretch. So pick the position that best suits you. Make sure your buttocks is firm and breathe into your belly. Let's take 3 big breaths. let's breathe in, lifting up. And breathe out, forward fold. Let's take a little bend forward. Let the upper body hang down. Flat back, lengthen through the spine. Breathe out, forward fold, and deep breath in. Sun salute, lifting back up again. And breathe out, hands back to sides. Beautiful, nice big shoulder roll. And let's bring our feet together for mountain pose. Okay, so lift up the rib cage, squeeze the buttocks together, nice firm waist and thighs. This is very good for strengthening your buttocks, so you need to feel quite firm and press your buttocks together. Okay, crown of head to ceiling, lift the shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards so the chest is open, shoulder blades are hugging, waist drawn in. Stretch your fingers out and reach them down to the floor. You can close your eyes if you want to or keep them open. And let's take 3 big breaths around our rib cage. Expand your rib cage out as much as you can with your breath in. Let's try that again. And one more time, big breath. Okay, let's take a deep breath in, lift the arms up, pistol grip, clasping the fingers, index fingers pressed together and point upwards, reaching up, look forward, breathe out, bend to the side, breathe in, lift, breathe out, bend to the other side, keep your buttocks firm and pressing together, breathe in to lift, breathe out to bend, and one more time, breathe in to lift, and breathe out to bend. Breathe in and lift up, and breathe out. Let's lower those hands down. And then take a deep breath in, lift those hands up. And we're going to link those fingers, turn them inside out, reaching up to the ceiling. Reach up as high as you can, lift up through your rib cage, gaze at the backs of your hands. Big breath in. And breathe out, lowering the hands down behind your back. We're going to breathe in and breathe out, bending forward, chin tucks in, lifting the arms up to the ceiling, wide prayer, arms as wide as shoulders. You can rest your hands on your lower back. You can also press your palms together, link the fingers and reach the arms up to the ceiling. Remember to press your palms together. Pull your tummy in, lift your hips a bit higher for a bigger stretch in the backs of legs. Bring your chest towards your thighs. Take 3 big breaths here. Breathe into your back and around your belly if you can. Now rest the hands on the lower back, draw the waist in, release those hands and sweep them up into chair pose and wide prayer. Then breathe out, wrap your left arm around your waist, your right arm behind your back and twist. Draw your shoulders down as you twist your rib cage around. Push your hips back so your knees are behind your toes. Take 3 breaths here. Then release. And let's breathe in, lifting up. Big reach up, breathe out. Come back to chair pose, right arm around the waist, left arm around the back. Shoulders draw down, waist draws in, looking over your left shoulder. Take 3 breaths here. Beautiful, and let's unwind, lifting our arms up. And breathe out. Lower your hands down and bring your hands to chest. Deep breath in and out. Okay, now we're going to do 2 slow sun salutes. So I'm going to face sideways so you can see me more easily. Standing with the arms to sides, lifting up the rib cage, crown of head to ceiling. Make sure you squeeze your buttocks, pushing hips forward, thighs are firm. So we need to work the buttocks a little bit more today to make sure we're strengthening. Now let's take a deep breath in, sun salute. Gaze up between your palms if you can and swan dive, forward fold. Flat back, lengthen through the spine and breathe out, forward fold. Let's step back to plank. Now let's pause in this plank position. If you need to put your knees on the floor, do. Otherwise, squeeze your buttocks together. Make sure you are squeezing your buttocks but not clenching. Tighten your waist and press with the base of the thumb and index finger firmly down so you're working the insides of the arms. Now I want you to just move your shoulder blades a little bit so they're not tight. You want them to be soft. Okay, let's take 3 breaths here. Look in front of your fingertips. Now melt down to the floor. If you can, just hug those elbows nice and close, plank to floor, otherwise knees and chest down. Slide your elbows forward. We're going to pause in a sphinx. Stretch the fingers out, line the wrists, elbows and shoulders up. Pressing the hips firmly down, squeeze the buttocks together. So here we go strengthening our buttocks muscles and press the tops of the feet into the floor. Open your shoulders wide so shoulder blades flatten on the back. Looking forward and then draw the elbows back, chest forward so we create that tension between the navel and the rib cage. And let's breathe there. You can lift your chin up and stretch the neck, or you can just lower your chin to a comfortable position. Lift your spine up a little bit more and let's take 3 breaths here. Now we're going to breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out. Slide the hands back under our chest. Breathing in for cobra. Slide shoulders away from hips and extend the arms. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up and adjust your feet if you need to. And let's pause here for a moment in our down dog. Now let's try and lower the heels a little bit towards the floor. Lift the navel up, lift the hips up. Bring your chest towards your thighs and slide shoulder blades to hips. Press the base of the thumb and index finger firmly down, lengthening through the arms so you're working your inner thighs and the backs of your upper arms. Let's take 3 big breaths here, expanding the ribs cage out as much as you can, front ways, sideways and backwards. Let's try that. Now let's step the feet together and lift the right leg up, squeeze your buttocks firmly, toes point to floor. We're trying to strengthen our buttocks. So here we go, squeeze, hold that leg up, bring your chest to your thighs, hold it up a little bit longer. One more breath, and then lunge your foot between your hands, step your back foot next to your front foot, flat back, lengthen through the spine, draw the shoulders to hips. Keep the waist lifted, breathe out, forward fold, and deep breath in, sun salute. Lifting up, and breathe out, hands back down to sides. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, sun salute, and swan dive, forward fold. Flat back, lengthen through the spine. Big breath in, and breathe out, forward fold. Step back to plank. Now we're just going to take a breath in here, plank to floor, flatten the tops of the feet and breathe into cobra. So breathe in and just lift your chest up, slide shoulders towards your hips, press your hips down, your pubic down to the floor, pubic bone down to the floor, squeeze your buttocks together. So strengthen that buttocks. Here's another opportunity. Now lift a little higher. In your cobra, draw the shoulders down, looking forward, nice strong position. Take a breath here. Then lift a little higher, keeping those elbows bent. Keep them hugging the rib cage. Deep breath in here. Extending the arms a little more, slight bend. Squeeze the buttocks firmly to support that lower back. And then lifting up, tuck those toes under, lift the hips, adjust your feet. And you can rock from side to side, keep nice and loose. And let's step those feet together again, lifting the left leg up this time, squeeze the buttocks, pull the tummy in, hips towards thighs, make sure the toes point to the floor, do not rotate your foot outwards. We don't want to use the hip, we want to use the buttocks. So big squeeze, take 3 breaths here. And lunge your foot between your hands, step your back foot next to your front foot, flat back. Nice little lengthening spine and backs of legs. Breathe out, forward fold, and a deep breath in. Sun salute, lift right up. Nice big stretch, and breathe out, hands to sides. Bring your hands to chest again. Deep breath in and breathe out. Lower your hands down, giving yourselves a nice shake. Okay. Now I'm going to turn sideways for the next bit because we're going to do some side stretches. So I'll start on this side, so lifting up the rib cage. Now we're going to just leave the hands on the hips for the moment. Breathe in, lift the spine tall, breathe out, draw the waist in. Now we're going to lift the right knee and extend it back. Lower the foot down and lifting up. So straighten the front leg. So just make sure your legs are not too far apart. So you're squeezing the buttocks together and the hands are on the hips. Okay, so now you can keep hands on hips, or you can take your hands behind your back and hold your elbows, or bring your hands to prayer behind your back. Now, if you find your palms don't meet, this could be uncomfortable, so just hold your wrists or your elbows. All right, let's breathe in, lift up nice and tall, draw the shoulders down. Now, squeeze the buttocks together. Let's strengthen the buttocks. Make sure we switch it on at every opportunity. And pull the tummy in, lift the rib cage, and bend forward. Now, tighten the waist. Make sure you have a nice flat back. We're going to get the stretch in the back of that front leg. Remember to keep your hips nice and square. Beautiful. Now you can stay here just a third of the way down. It's a big enough stretch already. Or you can draw your waist in and round your back out. Bring your head towards your knee. Chin tucked in, back of neck lengthened. Let's take 3 big breaths into our back. Now start to look forward, draw the navel up, squeeze your buttocks together, draw the shoulders towards the hips, look forward, keep your back as flat as you can, so that means your mid-back needs to draw towards forwards, so you can keep your back as flat as possible. Okay, we're going to release those arms now, lift them up above our head, and then open them up, open your chest up. Beautiful. Now our legs might be a little bit close together. We've got a warrior two, so you can toe heel your foot a bit wider, bend your front knee. Now I want you to squeeze your buttocks together, and when you do that your hips will come forward, tummy will firm, and your inner thighs will switch on. So it's very important to engage your buttocks muscles and strengthen them by squeezing them together. Okay, warrior two, checking that your knee is in line with your ankle. Now we're going to turn our gaze over our front middle finger. Anytime your arms get tired, place them on your hips. Breathe down to your belly, 3 big breaths. Okay, let's reach forward for a side angle pose. So breathe in, reach, and place the elbow on the knee, palm up, close it into a fist. Lift your hand up. Try to line your arm up with your other arm that's resting on your knee. Now, if you need to pop your hip down a little bit more, do. And I want you to make sure your buttocks is firm, tummy in, and shoulders are away from the ears. Head in line with spine. Let's take 3 breaths here. Breathe around your rib cage. Now take your top arm, place it behind your back and hold your thigh. Draw your shoulders down. Now if you can't reach your thigh, it's okay, just anywhere on your back. For those who can manage a full bind, bring the arm between your legs, link your fingers and push your shoulder into your knee. And let's take 3 breaths here. Now release your hands, place the hands on the floor and walk them around to the front. Pivot your feet forward. So feet should be parallel. Take your hands onto your ankles or hold your big toes with your index and middle finger. Gaze at the floor or tuck your chin to chest, crown of head to ceiling, to floor, and you can rest your head on the floor if you want to. Slide your shoulders up to hips, pull the tummy up, lift hips a bit higher, stretch backs of legs a little bit more and bend your elbows to keep the shoulders away from the ears. So it keeps the shoulders lifted. Take 3 big breaths here, right into the belly, into the lower back. And again, another big breath. Okay, let's lift our head up. Look at the floor. Shoulders head towards hips. Nice tight waist. Lift the arms up into a T position. Hug the shoulder blades together. Keep the back nice and flat. Look forward. Start to hinge up with that beautiful flat back. Make sure your mid-back doesn't do too much work. Now, heel toe your back foot a little closer. Pivot your front foot to face forward. Lift the arms up. Rotate your hips. Bend your front knee and you should be in a warrior 1 position. Roll the shoulders back, draw them downwards. Take a big breath in. Lift your chin if you can. 3 big breaths right down to the belly. Fill up the rib cage. Now bring your hands down to chest and we're going to just come onto the ball of the back foot and step forward into chair pose. Pull the tummy in, sit right back, shoulders down. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now breathing in, lifting up into a standing position. I'm now going to turn and face you so you can see me more easily. And I'm going to roll that right foot forward, tighten the waist, lift the knee, toes forward, push through the heel, and bring the arms to a stop sign position, shoulders downwards. And I'm going to rotate through my rib cage. So breathe in, breathe out, draw the waist in, rotate through the rib cage so the torso is twisted. Take 3 breaths here. Now take your hand outside your knee, opposite hand to knee, the other arm behind the back, and twist a little more so you're looking over the shoulder, the right shoulder. Take 3 breaths. And then start to bring yourselves forward and lower your foot down. Let's take a walk with the feet. Wonderful. Now I'm going to face the other direction. I'm placing my hands on my hips and bending the knees. Tighten the waist. I'm going to lift my foot up and then stretch it back. Place it down for a head to knee pose. So straighten the front leg. Squeeze your buttocks together again, another strengthening opportunity for your glutes. That's it, beautiful. So hands behind the back, you're either going to prayer or holding your elbows. Now once you've held your elbows, let's change that because you're probably going back to what you did previously. Perhaps even hold your wrists. Draw the shoulder blades down, lift the ribcage up, gaze up, breathe in, breathe out, push the hips back. Waist draws in, nice flat back going down. If you can, draw the waist in, round the back out, bring the head closer to the knee. Try not to chin to chest and try not to lock your knee back, keep it just a little bit soft. Let's focus on the breathing. So let's take 3 deep breaths into our back and waist. Now looking forward, tighten the waist, draw the shoulders towards the hips, squeeze the buttocks together, and start to hinge back up to a standing position. Release your arms, bring them up over your head, rotate your hips and chest, and lower your arms down. Now let's toe heel our foot just a little further away, coming into warrior two. So widen your legs, hips and chest face sideways. Lovely. Let's turn the gaze over the front middle finger, have a look down to the knee. Now I want you to think about your buttocks now, squeeze it together, tighten your tummy, widen your knees. So we're really working into the buttocks, inner thigh, and into the waist. Okay, lovely. Make sure your knee and ankle at the front are lined up, and we're pressing the outer edge of the back foot firmly down. Breathe down to the belly. We've got a side angle pose. So breathe in, reach forward as far as you can. Elbow to knee, palm up, close it into a fist. Lift the other hand up. Shoulders away from ears. Now squeeze your buttocks together. Push your hips forward, nice firm waist. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now lift your rib cage up a little, so you want a feeling of uplift through the ribs. Let your hips, your buttocks do the work of holding you up. 3 breaths down to the belly. Top arm behind the back, holding the thigh with your opposite hand, your hand, or resting on your back. Level 2 bind, hands between the legs, link your fingers, shoulder pushes into knee, slide your hands over your buttocks so you get a bigger stretch. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now release, put your hands on the floor, walk them to the centre between your legs, toes point forward and are parallel. And this time we're going to rest the hands on the lower back, chin to chest, crown of head to floor. You can place your head on the floor. Pull your tummy up, lift your hips a bit higher. Keep your hands resting on your lower back or reach your arms up in wide prayer. You can also press your palms together, link your fingers and reach the arms up. That will work more strongly into the fronts of your shoulders and the back. So let's take 3 breaths here. Now make sure the weight is in the middle or the little bit front of the foot, just forward in the foot rather than the heels. Lower your hands down onto your spine, tighten your tummy, look forward, draw the shoulders towards the hips and start to hinge yourself up with a lovely flat back. Beautiful. Now let's lift the arms up. Heel toe the back foot a bit closer and pivot your feet to face forward. Bend the front knee. We're in our warrior one again. Roll the shoulders back and draw them down. Stretch the fingers out, reach them up and lift your chin slightly. Press through the back heel. Remember to keep the back knee a little bit soft. Big breaths down to the belly. Now deep breath in, breathe out, hands to chest, come onto the ball of the back foot and step that foot next to the front foot into chair pose. Bring the hips back, tummy tight, knees behind toes, draw the shoulders down. Take 3 breaths. Breathing in, lift the arms up, and we can lower those arms down. And I'm going to turn to face you again. Bring the arms to a stop sign position. This time we're going to roll the left foot forward, tighten the waist, lift the knee, toes forward, push through the heel. Now breathe in, breathe out, draw the waist in, rotate through the rib cage, just looking diagonally is fine. Take 3 breaths here. Taking your right hand outside your knee now and left hand behind the back. Draw the shoulders down, rotate just a little further. So we're looking over the shoulder, over that left shoulder. Take 3 breaths here. And then looking forward and lowering the foot down and lowering the arms down. Okay, let's take a little rest, give ourselves a shake. And just pause a moment, just letting our body settle. Okay, let's turn sideways again. Let's just place the hands on the hips. And we're going to do a little bit more standing strength. So let's soften the knees, tighten the waist, and lift our right foot up. And start to step it back into a high lunge position. Make sure your toes are pointing forward, your heel is pointing back for both feet. Let's lift our arms up, high lunge, wide prayer. Roll the shoulders back, draw them down. Lift your chin if it's comfortable. Now make sure your buttocks is firm. Remember, we're strengthening our buttocks today. Tummy firm, front knee in line with the ankle. Make sure your knee, you're just pushing a little bit out with that knee. 3 big breaths into the waist. Right down into the belly. Now breathe in, breathe out, elbow to knee, other hand on hip. Now that elbow that's on the knee, you can take that hand and turn it into a fist. Draw your shoulders down, waist in. Let's give the buttocks a squeeze. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now let's open up our arms. You can reach down to the floor if you want to, or just stay a little higher. So widen the arms, that's it. Take 3 breaths here. And then open your arms into a reverse warrior 2. Take 3 big breaths. Now lifting your arms up nice and high, rotate your hips, bring your hands down to your chest in prayer, jump your back foot a little bit closer to your front foot. We've got a warrior 3. So tightening the waist, lift your back foot up just as high as you want to, squeezing your buttocks together, tighten the waist, draw shoulders towards hips and hug your shoulder blades together at the back. You may wish to bring your arms by your sides and reach your fingers down towards your toes that are lifted. Try and hinge up so your leg is hip height, chin is tucked in. Let's take 3 breaths here. Then hinge your foot back down to the floor, placing the foot firmly down. And let's take a deep breath in. Sun salute, reaching up and breathe out, hands down to chest. Deep breath in and out. Okay, let's lower the arms down and we're going to turn around and face the other direction. Placing your hands on your hips again. We're going to tighten the waist, soften the knees. That's it, this time lifting that left foot up, Tighten the waist, step it back, but not too far. That's it, beautiful. Come onto the toes, sweep the back arms forward, arms back and lift them up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Make sure both toes are pointing forward, both heels are pointing directly back. Lift your chin if you can. Let's take a deep breath down to the belly. Breathing in, reach up and breathe out. Left elbow on knee, right hand on hip. Place the hand, the elbow on the knee. Close that into a fist, shoulders draw down. Squeeze your buttocks together. Let's strengthen up around those hips. Head in line with the spine. Let's take 3 breaths here. You can bring one hand down, lift the other hand up. Take 3 breaths. Balance. And hinging up into reverse warrior 2. That's it, lovely. Keeping strong, arms reaching, squeeze your buttocks together. 3 breaths. Okay, lifting those arms up. Rotate your body forward. Bring your hands down to chest in prayer. Jump your back foot a little bit closer. And then tighten your waist. Firm up your buttocks. Start to slowly lift your back leg up to hip height. Straighten the standing leg. Squeeze your buttocks firmly and reach your hands down towards your toes. Draw the shoulders downwards towards your toes that are lifted and hug your shoulder blades together, so you should have a nice strong flat back. Let's take 3 breaths here. And slowly hinge your foot back down. Bring your hands to chest in prayer. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Lower the hands down. Let's give the legs a nice shake. Alright, we're going to face sideways again. And start with our sun salute. Let's take a deep breath in. Reaching up and breathe out, forward fold. Flat back, lengthen through the spine. Breathe out, forward fold. And let's toe heel our feet out a little wider so we're ready for a squat. So toes are on a diagonal, drop the hips down, bring hands to chest. Now let's lift up the spine nice and tall. So it's nice to do this from the side for a change, so you can have a look how my spine is. Now the tail tucks under tummy in, so we can lift up nice and tall through the spine. Elbows inside knees. See if you can push them a little wider so we can work more strongly into the hips. And let's take 3 breaths here. Now place your hands down. You can step your feet back to plank, or you can jump your feet to plank and then plank to floor. Tighten your waist, lower yourself down. And we're going to reach our right arm forward, bend our left knee. We've got a half bow. So hold the top of the foot with the hand. Try to make sure your knees are hip width apart. Press the top of the foot into the hand, lift the knee, lift the chest. If you can, lift the other leg and the other arm. Stay here and breathe, looking forward, or you can drop your chin down. Take 3 breaths. and lower yourself down. We're going to change sides. So bring your left arm forward, bend your right knee and hold the top of the foot with the right hand. Knees in line with hips. Okay, press the top of the foot in the hand. Now we can feel a beautiful squeeze in the buttocks. Lifting up and lift the opposite leg and hand. Looking forward, we'll tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. 3 breaths. And lower your body down, lower your foot down, bring hands under chest, cobra, lengthen through those arms. Walk those knees forward, bring the toes together, knees wide, come into child's pose and bring your arms down by your sides and hold your heels if you can, forehead on the floor. Now relax the shoulders down and let the arms hang down towards the floor so the back can have a nice big stretch. Breathe into your back to help stretch it out. Now, if you want to, join me in a tortoise. Pull your navel up, tuck your chin, top of head on the floor, then lift your hips up, but keep holding your heels, and we'll get a lovely stretch around our back. Just take another 3 deep breaths into the back. Now lower your hips down to your heels and stack your fists, rest your head on top. Now lifting up, now bring your legs around to the sides or cross your ankles, take a seat and extend the legs forward. Okay, let's take the hands behind the knees, draw the waist in and walk the hands up the backs of the legs and then walk the feet to the end position and bring the knees to the chest, just one at a time. And let's rock from side to side on the small of the back, drawing the navel down. Bring your arms into a T position and lower your knees down to one side. Turn your head to the other. Make sure your shoulder blades are flat on the floor. Take 3 big breaths. Now if you can, extend your legs out. Now your legs should line up with your hips. Bring your toes forward so you can stack your ankles and your legs. Let's take another 3 deep breaths. Now bend the knees back to ceiling and lower them down to the other side. Turn your head the opposite direction. Make sure the shoulder blades are on the mat. And if you can, extend your legs forward. I haven't got quite enough space. That's it. Extend the legs, that's it. Made it. And 3 big breaths. Now bend those knees, bring the feet back to the end position. Now you could come into butterfly pose or bring your knees together, feet wide. So whichever position you've chosen, take your left hand on your heart centre, right hand on the belly. Bring the elbows to the floor and press them down. Lift the shoulder blades up, hug them together and flatten your back down so the shoulder blades are lovely and flat. Lift the head up, tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. And let's start to breathe into the belly. Feel the stretch on the inner thighs. Focus on the breath in the belly. When you're ready, extend your legs. for relaxation, and roll your knees and feet outwards so you can really get some softness into the hips. And then bringing your arms to the floor, palms up if you can, so you can flatten your shoulder blades and really have that chest nice and open. Remember to tuck your chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Start to breathe down to your belly. You can stay in this comfortable relaxation position and just press pause on the video. Otherwise, you could join me in finishing up now. So moving the fingers and toes and breathing down to the belly. Walking the feet up to the end position and roll to your side, resting your head on your arm. Lift yourself into a seated position. Resting hands on the knees or in the lap. Just gently lifting the rib cage and lowering the chin down slightly. If you need to move your head from side to side, just release any tension in your neck. Lower your hands to the floor, a deep breath in. Lift the arms above the head in prayer and bring the palms down to chest and thumbs to heart center. Breathe right down to your belly. Bring that breath up to the rib cage, into shoulders and back, and breathe out. Let's do that again. Breathe into the belly, rib cage, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Take another deep breath at your own pace. Have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and if you enjoyed the video, press like and subscribe to my channel to get regular updates. Join me again.